Let's make lemonade. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go, 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 go.
Six.
It's beautiful.
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude.
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive, and when you need a clean car, and look at your car right now, it's winter outside. It's crappy, it's salty, it's just you need it cleaned. That's where you go to Willis Automotive Detailing, shake off the winter grime, get your ride cleaned up and refreshed. Just go to willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at rushradio.com, Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watch it on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like. Leave your comments in the comment section. And, of course, follow us on our social media channels. Ross Peterson taking a big old drink of coffee.
Oh, yeah. Getting it going this morning.
I'll tell you what.
Out of my beautiful, new, really sturdy barrel-aged brunch mug that I got over the weekend at the barrel-aged brunch.
Oh, how was the barrel-aged brunch? We didn't even bring that up.
Great time, as always, man. Had some good beers.
Did you get a buzz?
To say the least.
Good,
yeah.
Good.
Big thanks to Frank. Oh, I got to Venmo Frankie. The big thanks to Frankie for driving me, carting me around.
Oh, yeah, like a personalized Uber driver or what?
Frankie set it up, and Frankie wasn't in a big drinker and a big beer drinker, but likes to go down there and hang out and have the food. And so we had a fun Saturday, man.
I wish people, you know, we say this all the time, and if people could just join our pre-show conversations. Of course, we're talking about Iowa State. We'll get to the Cyclones' loss last night. But we start going down an Olympics rabbit hole. I haven't watched much of the Olympics at all, but we start talking about medals. And Ross is like, have you seen where the medals are breaking? That you know, people are the ribbons are busting off. Some other people are having problems with the medals. Seems like the Italians have gone cheap. They're trying to make up the money on the construction side.
I'll see if I can find the article I had yesterday, Trav. There's so many. Again, this is what the Olympics do: is they just like unload all these stories onto us, which are just incredible. There's so many funny, heartfelt, just amazing stories. I know you've got one that's truly right up our alley. So funny. Did you hear about as I'm looking for this, I'll just rattle a couple of them off to you. Did you hear about the skater, the ice skater that used the song without getting permission?
So they didn't pay the ASCAP fee?
And the seriously, I'm not kidding you. And it's a Canadian artist who's like pissed off about it.
Is he mad because an American skated to it?
I'll see that. That one, I got that one here. Okay. This is Winter Olympics plunged into row after gold medalists used song without permission. Seb McKinnon says he neither granted Amber Glenn nor the U.S. Olympics team consent to use his song in the gong-winning free skate routine. A dispute has erupted after music producer Seb McKinnon, never heard of him, claimed figure skater Amber Glenn used his song without permission in her Olympic free skating routine and helped the U.S. win gold. So it did have something to do with the U.S.
That's right. Canadians hate the United States now.
Are you kidding me? The Winter Olympics, this is just great. He's the produces under the name Clan, C-L-A-N-N. So, Clan.
Yeah. Is he wearing a white hood?
Oh, my gosh. I should have read that entire sentence. Can I back up?
Yeah.
This is from the dailystar.co. Seb McKinnon, who produces under the name Clan and illustrates Magic the Gathering collectible cards, said he neither granted Amber nor the U.S. Olympics team consent to use his tune, The Return, in her free skate routine. It's caused backlash and a polarizing reaction on the internet, if you could imagine.
Wow. Something polarizing on the internet.
What? Where artists have stood up and said, yeah, stand your ground, speak your truth, fight your fight. They can't steal your music. And Olympic athletes have stood up and said, huh? What's that now? She played your song on NBC? and won a gold medal? Yeah, he's probably sewer. He's probably sewer.
I want my money. I want my rights.
Travis, you got to think about the feelings of the artist here.
That's
imagine,
right. I mean,
the appalling feeling it must have been when you turn on NBC to watch your favorite sport of ice dancing and hear your stolen
song.
Yeah. Art. Whatever. All right, I'm trying to find the other one. I'm trying to find the one about the medals breaking. The other one that I did think was funny. Man, I had another one, Trav.
Well, just
the sound of the Olympics. So remember the vuvuzelas from the World Cup several years? That was it, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, and I haven't watched a lot of Olympics and enough to know it, but apparently this Olympics has a sound, and a lot of people are complaining about it.
I heard it yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah. So I was at the club, a different club, but I was at a club yesterday, and we were the only persons in the men's cry room. Yeah, only men could go in the room. But I was watching Luge, Ross, and they had the drone following the person down, and you could hear the drone on TV, and it was just like, and it would go to a certain spot, and it would turn around, go back to the top of the Luge launch.
That's exactly what it is. It's the sound of the buzzing of the drones that they're using for all sorts of different events, flying up and down the events. So that the sound of drones is apparently the sound of the 2026 Winter Olympics.
I can't imagine the battery power they're using on those drones, because drones only last about 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes tops if you got them, right? So you probably just have a stack of drones.
Have you seen them, Trav? Have you seen any of the coverage on them and how?
The one I saw yesterday was not very big. It was a pretty small drone.
Tiny little camera on it. And then you see how good that shot is going. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Here's the other one that's funny, and I apologize. I'll find the one about the medals breaking, but this one is about how protruding rear ends are causing a problem in the skeleton.
Little booty, huh?
In fact, such protruding rear ends, it's illegal.
You can't have a big ass?
Hold on. Great Britain's skeleton team has been banned from wearing its new aerodynamic helmet at the Winter Olympics after the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruled that they were illegal because its, quote, rear significantly protrudes. It's the back of the helmet.
Oh, when you told me this yesterday, I thought it was somebody's ass.
The booty is too rotund. They have a new aerodynamic helmet, but part of the problem is that the back of the helmet apparently protrudes. So a rear significantly protrudes, and their helmet's illegal, and Great Britain's skeleton team just has to sled down the hill without their fancy new helmet.
We were talking about the broken medals, and I know you're looking for it, but we came up with an idea. These medals, when you win a gold, it should be a solid block of gold. It should be melted down, 24 karat gold, cast into a medal. Now, the average weight of an Olympic medal is 1 pound. So an Olympic medal, gold medal, would be worth like $30,000 to $35,000, right? There are 116 medal events at the Olympics. So there you're talking about $3.4 million. If you do it with silver, Ross, each medal would be about $1,000. Each bronze medal would be about $4.50. So, I mean, it's... So,
you'd make your money back. Is what we're saying.
We're saying if you've got a multi-billion-dollar TV deal with NBC, shouldn't you? And that's just NBC. That's not including other countries. You're talking billions of dollars.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what do we say? 116 sports that they're going to give medals for. $30,000 is basically about what a pound of gold would be.
And I don't know if you can strike a deal on bulk gold, but maybe you can. I don't know.
And really, Travis, I wonder if the medal, you might not yet, can you strike a deal on bulk gold? 119 pounds of gold for the Olympics. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that this is something that they should. Boy, talk about the difference between first and third.
Yeah.
$30,000 medal or a $4 medal. Hey, winners win, man.
Winners win. I mean, you can say, hey, I won a bronze. Yeah, but nobody really cares about a bronze medal winner.
Yes. Have you ever met an Olympic medalist?
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet a bronze medalist. I'd be like, oh, you got a bronze. That's great.
Yes. No, I guarantee you wouldn't. You would call me.
Oh, you got a bronze medal?
You're not going to believe this, man. I was just hanging out with this guy. What would be the sport that would be the most fun to have somebody like? I think it would be kind of cool if you met somebody and they were like, yeah, I was in the Olympics, and it was like fencing. You're like, it's
funny. I was just thinking fencing. You were like reading my mind. I was just thinking fencing.
Because there's no, like, I think that's one of those things I could pull off in a different city, right? Nobody knows what a fencer looks like. The physical attributes of a fencer.
Yeah, like the gold medal fencer is working at Home Depot when they get home because, they're not making a lot of money like the track and field people or the basketball people or the hockey people. They're like, what do you do? I'm the greeter at Home Depot, and I train on fencing, during my spare time. And I'm being a little facetious here, but you know what I mean. They probably have regular jobs when they go home.
That poor guy. Helping people find lumber on a Tuesday. So what do you do in your spare time? Well, I'm actually an Olympic fencer. Yeah, and I'm the Easter Bunny. So where's the 2x8s? Sure you are. The asshole inside Home Depot tried to tell me he's some Olympian. Okay.
The Driftless Iowan said there's a real gold medal from the 1900 games that from a Swiss skier a few miles away from their ancestors' home. So maybe they used to be in gold. But then they started realizing, kind of like the coins, you can't find a silver $50 anymore. Yeah, the coins they used to be made in silver, but they're not made in silver anymore. It's mostly copper in there.
You can find the silver ones.
You can find them. They're hard. Like my mom, she had all these like old $50 from like the 60s. They were like 2 years too late. They're like, oh, sorry. See that line in there? That's the copper.
Yeah,
these aren't worth it.
What is like 62 or before?
Yeah, something like that.
The real silver.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I went in there like, if this was 1961, it'd be worth this, but now it's worth 55 cents instead of 50 cents. I'm like, oh, okay. That's great. Of course, my brother was like, I'll take them. Okay, you have these nickels, man. Go ahead. More power to you. The other interesting story at the Olympics yesterday, and we didn't mean to start with the Olympics, just one of our conversations that we have. And, since it's, our own show, we can kind of go any direction we want, is a skier, Sterling Holm Lagard.
Huh? Say it again. A skier.
Sterling
from Norway.
Skier. Yeah, he won the bronze medal in the 20-kilometer biathlon.
This isn't a bronze medalist you'd want to spend 8 minutes with?
No, this is because he's desperate. He is desperate. I mean, so desperate. Because after he won his bronze medal, he was being interviewed on Dutch television and speaking in Dutch or Norwegian. I think they speak Dutch. And I didn't understand a word he said, but it was translated into, I cheated on my girlfriend. I'm really sorry, and I want her back. He bared his soul, Ross, not saying how grateful he was to win the bronze medal, but I cheated on my girlfriend. I'm going to let the world know how much I love her and be so vulnerable that please take me back.
The quote, and I think you've got the audio of his post game, right? But
I don't have the quote because I didn't understand it. But this was him on the podium. After
I wanted to read because
go ahead and read.
Yeah, his tearful interview, his first Olympic medal. He wants to address, quote, someone who may not be watching the broadcast, and this is how it's translated. 6 months ago, I met the love of my life, the most beautiful, nicest person in the world, and 3 months ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life, and I cheated on her. I told her about it a week ago, and it's been the worst week of my life. My only way to solve it is to tell everything and put everything on the table and hope that she can love me. I've done that for her, and now for the whole world. I have nothing to lose. And I'm sure there are many people who will see things differently, but I only have eyes for her. Sport has come second these last few days. Yes, I could share this with her. Yes, I wish I could share this with her.
First of all, you met her 6 months ago. You're still in that infatuation phase, all right? You're not in love yet. You're still infatuated with her. And 3 months into a 6-month relationship, you're wondering, can I get something else? Is there something out there better? And you just try it out. The second problem is, why do you drop the news a week before you go to the Olympics? You're getting on a plane, you're going to the Olympics, and you go, I think I'm going to tell her I'm going to cheat. I cheated on her. No, you wait till after the Olympics.
Okay. Hold on. He said, he kind of addressed it at some point. I remember him saying basically the weight of it was too much for me. I had to tell her. Maybe it was really selfish of me, or this is part of the thing that you're about to play here for us, because what I just read for you was essentially the way I understand it, that was the Reuters translation of the interview right after the biathlon.
So here's Sterling on the podium afterwards.
Different choices during our life, and that's how you make life, basically. So today I made the choice to tell the world what I did. So maybe there's a chance that she will see what she really means to me, and maybe not. But I don't want to think I didn't try everything to get her back.
Oh, you tried everything. You tried everything.
I mean, he could have won. He got third.
Yeah.
Thought you loved her, dude.
Do you think that gets her back? Do you think she goes, oh, my God?
I am really interested in how women would respond to that. Because I could see it both ways. I could see women being like, no. I could also see women being like, you know what? That's a guy who made a mistake and is bearing his soul and being vulnerable. Talk about vulnerable. You're going to use your 15 minutes of fame. This is it. You're a bronze medalist once in life. Or, conspiracy theory. What if it's all fake? He's the only bronze medalist we're ever going to talk about. What if it's all
true? He's the most famous bronze medal winner in the history of the Winter Olympics. Right now, the biggest story out of the Olympics is a dude who cheated on his girlfriend 6 months into a relationship, which is still infatuation. But he's like, man, here's the story. Here's the story.
I met the love of my life, and 3 months later, I cheated on her. Hey, man. Hey, say that part out loud again. Say that back one more time. See if it clicks with you. That maybe.
Sterling, we have a deal for you. We want you to fly to Iowa and go to Fiskus Jewelers, where they have a lovely 1-carat earrings with 14-karat gold for $500 now for Valentine's Day. We just gave a pair away. Noel Fiskus will easily make you a custom piece of jewelry that really says, I love you. It's not a bronze medal. Don't give her bronze. You come home with gold, baby.
What if lightning just struck my brain?
Okay.
What if he brings the gold medal and Noel makes a piece of jewelry out of the gold medal?
Oh. Makes sense to me.
Honey, I wouldn't have been able to focus and win that bronze medal if it hadn't been for that side. I mean, if it hadn't been for me thinking about you. Here.
Were you really thinking about me, or were you thinking about her? Because I got news for you, dude. You're going to be living with this, even if she takes you back at the most inopportune time. Because even if she takes you back, you're going to fight again, right? And trust me, from firsthand experience, it comes up a lot. It comes up a lot, as it probably should. Just say it.
As it should. Right.
As it should.
We didn't intend on starting with the Olympics. Travis and I, again, we have a half hour before the show where we're just BSing, and we literally had this conversation. I did find the article about some of the metals breaking, and they're trying to fix it. And that's when Travis and I started saying, like, man, shouldn't they make them out of the? Shouldn't they make out of real gold?
You came up with the $30,000 number. Other people in the chat are saying like it's like 76, like 60 to 76,000.
No. So yeah, I was just I just Googled how much is a pound of. We Googled
gold.
How much does a metal weigh? 1 pound.
Yeah.
We Googled how much is a pound of gold, and it came back with 32,000, something like that. We Googled how many metals do they give away. It was a long conversation.
It was. We went down a deep, deep rabbit hole, man.
And then the final one was how much would a pound of gold be worth? And that came back with 32 grand or something like that. I don't anyway. And then we did the math from there.
We're not mathematicians here.
We're mathematicians.
That's right. I want to know how this Sterling Holmes Lugard story ends, though. I need to know if she takes him back. I mean, is she?
There's a part of me that thinks it's a ruse. That he thinks one of his boys was like, dude, do you know how many girls will be lined up? If like this is something that girls can be like, oh, is she not take you back?
Where did she get the Asian accent at?
You know, dude, this is Europe. It's a melting pot.
Because you know how many women watched that interview and went, oh.
That's what I'm saying. I think one of his boys. Hey, listen. What if we just create this whole thing? He never says the girl's name. He even says, I'm not going to say her name out of privacy.
He respects her because he's been in love for 6 months.
This reminds me of when I saw the people get engaged at Kauffman Stadium. And they put up on the big board, now direct your attention to the big board where Jessica, and Ryan gets down on a knee and everybody claps and cheers. And here comes the Kansas City Royal staff with one of everything from the gift shop. Congratulations. Thanks for getting engaged here at Kauffman. And then they walked the people away. I'm assuming because they had to, load a trailer with all the stuff they'd just given. And in my mind, I'm like, they're just driving over to Chicago, do this same thing at Wrigley. Why not? Every game I go to from now on.
It's kind of like my buddy Pat and I. Every time we go out for dinner, it's our birthday. And we do it as a joke just to make fun of how old we are. But then we thought, like, we're getting free dessert everywhere we go. This is kind of nice. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I think I've told you this. I'm like 22, 23 years old, hanging out at the bars in downtown Des Moines, and a group of girls from East High. They're all together, and they're on a bachelorette party. It's like, oh, hey, what's up, girls? How you doing? Who's getting married? And one of the girls, and we're like, oh, you're getting married? And they're like, hey, come here. No. What? Yeah, no. We just say it's their bachelorette party, and then we get all this shit for free when we show up at the bars. Next weekend, it's her bachelorette party.
And the weekend after that, it's her bachelor party.
All right. You go out and see the girls like, hey, congratulations.
We all have suck for a buck t-shirts, and that's what we wear.
You knew the East Side well in the 90s, buddy.
Yeah, listen, I think everybody had a suck for a buck t-shirt.
I haven't seen one of those in 20 years.
We need to go to Nashville and see if they're still prominent, because that's where everybody goes for a bachelorette party now is Nashville.
Oh, really? That's like, okay, that's the girls' version of Vegas?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did they? Okay.
Suck for a buck.
Courtney's sister goes to, I think that's one of her favorite places to go with her girlfriends. Nashville. I've never been there.
Either have I. It's like the new party destination over Vegas. Vegas tourism is way down. Nashville's way up.
Really?
Yeah.
Tyler, we're going to get to the Iowa State game. Jeez, my goodness. Look at these guys. Unbelievable. The chat is
2 hours.
Chat is really wanting to talk about not great basketball game.
Man,
Guys,
can't keep anybody happy.
Gosh.
Again, it was a rabbit hole we started going down. I just wanted to continue it. I'm like, you know what? We're on a roll. Let's just stay with it.
I thought people would enjoy that. Hearing stories about I almost said threesomes. Hearing stories about cheating on your girlfriend.
Yeah.
The more that we talked about it, dude, I don't know why this didn't hit me right away. It was fake. It was fake.
Because you are a cynic, much like me. But the dude's famous now, and he's right so far the most popular story coming out of the Olympics through the first week.
Right.
It's not even close.
I mean, it's a really good story. Did you see the U.S. curling duo that knocked off? It was called the Miracle in Curling or something like that. This huge anyway. I saw the last shot.
Refresh your home with floors you'll love. Iowa Floor Coverings offers beautiful hardwood, waterproof luxury vinyl, carpet, and tile for every room in your house. Stop by their Bondurant showroom or go to iowaflooring.com for a free quote. Brian Hardin, Athletics Director at Drake University, going to be joining us at 7 o'clock. Be good to catch up with Brian, see what's the next steps in finding a football coach. Also, when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Iowa State game last night. Yes, we're going to get to it. Just hold your britches. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. With Valentine's Day around the corner, if you're struggling to find the perfect way to show your Mini that you still care, please stop in so we can give it a look over and make sure that it's up to date on its preventative maintenance and repair. Please give us a call or schedule your appointment online at miniofdesmoines.com.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
February is a big month for the Iowa Lottery. Not only will they be at least the three great events we've been talking about, but on Sunday, February 22nd, they're launching a brand new game, Millionaire for Life. This lotto game could make you a winner of $1 million every year for the rest of your life. The best part, there's a drawing every single day. Ask for it starting on February 22nd at your favorite Iowa Lottery retailer. Become a VIP club member and stay connected about all the updates. You can get all the details at iowalottery.com beginning the day of the launch. And Matt Strawn's going to be joining us on Monday to talk about Millionaire for Life. So it'd be good to catch up with Matt. Millionaire for Life, $1 million the rest of your life. Look at it at $700,000 because you're going to get taxed about 30% on that.
Well, in that case,
yeah.
I always loved the commercials, because you have all those friends that are like, well, I don't play the lottery till it gets to $500 million. Remember the commercial where the guy was sitting inside and there's pallets of money falling outside, and his wife looks out the window and she's like, honey, there's cash falling in the front yard. The guy looks out from his paper. That's how old this ad was. Looks out from his paper. And he looks out the window and he goes, yeah, let me know when there's a few more million out there.
I like the Millionaire for Life more than the Powerball. I mean, like, now, if you win it when you're 30, that's awesome. I'm 55. They're hoping an old guy like me wins it. They're like, God, I hope that guy wins. He's got about 15 to 20 years left, and he'll be gone. It's only going to cost us $20 million. Ross, I sat here yesterday. I sat on this show yesterday, and I said, Iowa State going to TCU is a trap game. You looked at me straight in the face, said, no, you're wrong, Trav. You're wrong. You're wrong. Iowa State goes down to Fort Worth and
I was
handles
thinking
this.
to myself, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. What the
I
heck?
know. You treated me like that.
Thinking.
Treated me like that. Trap game. And you're like, nope, not going to happen. This is, and I had a bad feeling about it. It was just one of the and it was an ugly game. It was just absolutely ugly. Iowa State 24-57 from the field. That's 42.1%. TCU shot 40% from the field. Nothing to write home about. Neither team was good from the free throw line. Iowa State shot 25%. Only got to the line 8 times. You had TCU shoot 65% from the free throw line. But the big thing is there's a couple stats that really stand out. Iowa State turned the ball over 17 times.
Yep.
And TCU had 12 steals. Usually that's a reverse stat, right? That both of them played incredible defense last night, but Iowa State rarely turns the ball over 17 times, and 12 steals is a lot. In fact, TCU had 19 points off turnovers. Iowa State got out rebounded last night, 36-31, and second chance points. TCU also won that, and the bench scoring, 23-9 advantage TCU with scoring off the bench. There were spurts where each team would go on a run, but it was never anything consistent. It'd be long scoring droughts, and then you'd go on an 8-0 run, a 9-0 run. And TCU went on the last run. Iowa State was up with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go. They were up 55-50. They didn't score the rest of the game, and TCU ended the game on a 12-0 run.
Travis, the stat those are really good numbers that you threw out there. The first one that jumped out at me was Milan's number. And then I got to thinking, I went back and wanted to see what he had done again in that KU loss and in the Cincinnati loss. Because I almost, first of all, credit to you for calling this a trap game, but also credit to you for a long time ago when we were talking about, hey, who's the guy on this team that you've got to have clicking? And I said, it's Jefferson. If Jefferson's out there and he's playing well, but if he's not playing well, but then we all kind of decided there's so many guys that can carry the weight. There's so many guys that can go for 15 or 20 on that roster. You said in that conversation, man, it might be Milan. In the loss to KU, his line looks a lot like his line from last night. And I wrote it down so that I would have it. I mean, very similar. Holy cow. In both games, he had 11 points. In the KU game, he was 3 for 9 from the field. Last night, he was 4 for 12. In the KU game, he was 2 for 6 from three-point range. Last night, he was 3 for 11. Now, the outlier in that is in the Cincinnati game, he went for 34. In that game, they lost. So I do think it is it's still an example of they've got a lot, there's no fire alarm going off. Last night, you just had Milan's not scoring. Jefferson's not scoring. Lipsy had a decent game. What was his line?
He was 6 of 10. He didn't make a three-pointer. He had 12 points. So him and Jefferson both had 12 points. Jefferson, I think, hit his 12th point with about, 5.5 or 6 minutes ago. So Jefferson didn't score that last 5-6 minutes of the game. That's tough. I mean, we're talking about an impact player who's held scoreless during the stretch run where they needed to step up. Milan, they were all over Milan last night. He got some good looks, but they also played good defense on him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that he had a horrible night. You're gonna have 3 of 11 nights. If you can, and they can survive those nights from one of their guys. If you got one of the other guys that goes, hey, you get one of those guys go for 20, you're going to win this game. One of those guys is very capable of going for 20. One of them hits a couple shots, you win this game, and it didn't happen last night. And that's
now you said it earlier, but I think it's worth bringing it up. There's no fire alarms going off. You know what? Somebody's about ready to pull the fire alarm because Iowa State's stretch run is an absolute bitch, and it's not going to be easy. You get some games at home. You're home this Saturday against Kansas. Yeah. Kansas playing really good basketball. Then you're home against Houston. Houston, a really good basketball team. Then you go on the road to play at BYU and at Utah. Utah might be the only, I'm not going to say guaranteed win, right? But that is you should beat Utah. But then you have Texas Tech at home. You go to Arizona. And I will say this, you're going to beat Arizona State at home. Arizona State's not a good basketball team. But you said there's no fire alarms going off? Boy,
Trav, I had not looked at that.
There's a fire straight ahead that you're heading into, and you're either going to come out unscathed. I'm not saying they're going to go unbeaten during this stretch, but it's not going to be easy. The fire alarm's not off, but the sprinkler lines are full, and they're ready to start spraying water.
Travis, you're right. You're right. Fire alarm's not going off. Somebody's looking at the alarm. Going, oh, hey, I know where it's at, so in case we have to pull it soon. Oh, Trav, I had not looked at that. 5 of their last 7 against top 25 teams, and really, 3 of those are against top 10 teams with Kansas, Houston, and Arizona. You're right. You're going to end the season at home against Arizona State. That'll be a fun Saturday. That's a Saturday, I'm assuming, March 7th.
I believe so. Yeah. Because I come home from Italy on the 6th. Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You can do the show from there again?
I'm going to try. It's not setting up to where I can. It's just, it's the timing of stuff.
You know this. Like, I would love for you to enjoy your vacation. I'd love for you to be here. You would love for you to check in and we get some Filippo stuff. That'd be awesome.
I'll check in. Whether I can do the full 2 hours, that's one thing. But I'll be checking in from somewhere where I'm at because I get there on a Thursday, right? Well, I don't get there till like 1:30, so I'll like report in from the airport. That Friday, it might be I may do the show. Monday, I can't because I've got something, and then Tuesday I've got another wine thing. Wednesday I've got a lunch. Thursday I can probably do the show. We'll work it out. I'm not too worried about it.
Do not stress about it at all. I did.
Because Pat already is like, well, you're going to be doing the show? Because Pat's worried about, he wants to go do stuff. I'm like, dude, you can go do stuff. I'm just hanging out. You can take my wife. I can do the show.
Pat's not thinking about me. Pat's being selfish. Pat's being selfish and not thinking about me while he's in Italy.
Yeah, 100%.
Come to be less selfish and think about me a little bit, okay? Tired of people being so selfish and not thinking about me.
But all last night on the ESPN broadcast, they're talking about how Iowa State's on the 2 line playing for a number 1 seed, and I don't disagree with that. Last night's a setback. It's TCU's second win against a top 10 team, but I don't think it's not a good loss. You lose to Arizona, you go, okay, that's a good. and you know what I mean by a good loss, right? If you lose to Arizona, you lose to Kansas, that's more acceptable than TCU. And
Iowa losing to Iowa State. That you can look at that and go, oh, that's a good loss.
Yeah,
you played one of the best teams in the country, and this is when you are one of those best teams in the country, Travis. And again, I really do think Iowa State's right on that verge. Last night's a setback. They were right there on that verge of that elite echelon of teams, and the only good losses you can have is, like you just said, at Arizona, at Houston. Even at KU, even though the way you lost,
they're home. Yeah,
I think I'm just saying there's only a few things you could call good losses.
Yes,
and I know they don't play at Houston. I just meant that would be one that you could have. Losing at Arizona, nobody's going to bat an eye at that. But again, lose by 30 at Arizona. The Kansas loss is one of those. You can't look at the Kansas loss and go, it's a good loss. Lost by 20.
Am I off base here? But now there's even more pressure to beat KU at home on Saturday. You have to protect the home court.
Yeah.
You can't lose back-to-back games here. So you have what is perceived to me as a bad loss to TCU. You come home against Kansas. Kansas, fresh off its win over number 1 Arizona. That kind of erases the sting and keeps you in that number two spot. There's just a lot more. That's why I called last night a trap game.
Yeah, you nailed it. And I had not looked, I don't think, past Kansas. I watched the Kansas game the other night. I thought, no, Kansas just burned all their emotion. There's their game against Arizona. And now this is a great time for Iowa State to grab onto them.
I look at this, Kansas now doing Kansas things.
And I had not, Travis, why the Kansas game matters, I think also is astute of you to look ahead. If you lose that second game and now you're going Houston coming up next week, road trip to Provo, road trip to Arizona, Lumen. I think you beat Texas Tech at home. I don't think that one's crazy.
Texas Tech's a pretty darn good team.
Yeah, very tough team.
But I take into account Hilton Magic, right? I'm always going to give Iowa State the benefit of the doubt at home. We've seen it too many times. Iowa State's unbeaten at home. There's so much pressure now. You lose to TCU, and now you come home and you look at the stretch, and that's what makes it so difficult. You're like, gosh, it just adds more pressure to what you have to accomplish.
I'd like to share two things because Racing for Pinks. I love the internet. Usernames are fun. Said you guys had this exact same conversation last year. I'm dead honest. I don't remember. Did we have this same conversation?
Probably.
How they were in that battle for being a 1, 2, 3 seed, and this Big 12 gauntlet is swinging as you get into the last weeks. Captain Kirk Hawk says if the goal is to be a 1 or 2 seed, you've got to beat KU. If you're going to be a 1 seed, you got to win this game. You got to win a cup. In fact, I don't want to say win out. You could probably have to win out to be a 1 seed.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Right now, you got to kind of take the 1 off the line, right? Yeah. And then, but if you beat KU, if you beat Houston, sure, both home games, and let's say you got lucky and you won at Arizona, that's going to be tough. Then the conversation changes. But right now, you go, okay, how do we get back to that 2 line? Beating KU and Houston would be a huge boost for that. That will huge. Take away the sting of TCU. They'd be like, okay, that was a blip in the road.
I agree. And Dusty says you're not making the 1 line. I think as I think about that in my head for a minute, even winning out, because now you're a 3-loss team.
Well, if they won out and won the Big 12, they're a 1 seed.
Winning out would mean winning the Big 12 tournament, which means beating Houston and Arizona again, or Kansas again, or then you're back in at least in that conversation, and it makes sense. But either way, that's a lot of things to fall. Did you see the bracketology the other day, Trav, that had Iowa State on the 2 line and Iowa on the 7 in the same region playing in the round of 32?
I wouldn't want that.
No, neither would I.
You know, for both fan bases, I wouldn't want that. Now, if they got to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 matched up, that's fine. In the second round, I would not want to see a rematch of in-state rivalries.
I'd like to see a Final Four matchup.
I actually think I'm just looking at it. I've got Iowa State. I'm just gut feeling. I think they lose one game out of their next and I think they lose at Arizona. I think they beat KU. I think they beat Houston at home.
Okay.
I think they go to Utah and beat. I'm not convinced on BYU.
Okay.
And somebody said it earlier. BYU is a fraud, and I wouldn't say a fraud. They've got talent, but
place to play.
Yeah. I think they get Texas Tech at home. If they can go this stretch and only lose one game, and that's at Arizona, I think you would be on a 2-line, depending on what you did in the Big 12 tournament.
I will give them the leeway. I think that, Travis, even one of those games, losing to Kansas is gonna, because now you're right. People are grabbing the fire alarm, ready to pull it.
Yes. Because you're heading into the fire. You're not running away from the fire. You're heading right into it, brother.
Right. And it feels like you got a squirt gun.
Yeah.
So you want to win this one. But I do think if you lose, Houston is fantastic.
Amazing.
So if you lose to Houston at home, I don't think that's the end of the world. What I'm trying to say is, in this run of Kansas, Houston, BYU, Utah, Texas Tech, leading up to Arizona, I think they can lose one of those. Then maybe lose that game to Arizona. You go into the tournament as a 5-loss team. You're still on probably that 3-line. What a great conversation. What a great place to be in here in February.
And just to let you know, in February of 2027, we'll have the exact same conversation.
Right. Maybe.
Iowa's going to be on the road tonight. They take their 6-game winning streak, Ross, to Maryland. Buzz Williams, the head coach at Maryland yesterday, addressed he goes, hey, I don't want to talk about what's being talked about on the internet. If you don't think coaches read the internet, you're crazy, because they do. They know everything.
What's being talked about on the internet?
Well, that, Buzz Williams, it's not like we follow Maryland basketball, to the fullest extent, but, Buzz Williams is ignoring the problems of Maryland basketball. He doesn't want to talk about the bad season they've had, and they only have 2 Big Ten wins. I mean, do you have to talk about it? I mean, at the end of the day, everybody can see what the record is. You're Farrell Payne, your leading scorer, averages 17 points a game, hasn't played since the Iowa game on December 6th. So your leading scorer is gone. You're with a first-year head coach, a team that was dismantled because your coach left for Villanova and you have guys leave. People expect instant gratification. And when you lose your leading scorer, that causes problems. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They lost 4 games this year by 30 points or more. And Buzz is like, listen, it's not that I'm ignoring it. I'll talk about it. But, I mean, you can only say so much, right? I mean, what do you want him to say? I'm sorry. It's disappointing.
I'm sorry.
The season hasn't gone as I expected.
Yeah, maybe that would go a long ways. I don't think we get that because of that crazy thing of ego that we all fight with. Where a coach has a hard time, and maybe even saying sorry. We've conditioned ourselves to believe that saying those words admits some sort of fault. And so, and then, it instantly opens the door to, what are you sorry for? What'd you do that you're sorry for? Oh my gosh. Buzz Williams is, says the quiet part out loud. What would be wrong? That I just said it, but man, it would be refreshing to have a coach go, man, you know what sucks? This. We're really trying. We're really, really trying. And we've had a lot of things that go against us. And
I think you're putting it eloquently, is that fans want you to feel the same pain that they are.
Yeah, that's what
just acknowledge it, right? Just validate my feeling as a fan of why things are not good.
That's why we hated Jay Cutler. You hated Jay Cutler because you're like, man, if I were on the sideline, my face would look like this. I'd be watching the game, and you look over at Jay Cutler, and Jay Cutler was like, couldn't give a crap less. And then the dude's out there on 3rd and 15 diving for first downs. Ray Lewis closing in on him. But his face didn't look right. He didn't look like he had resting asshole face. We want our feelings to be validated by those people.
Well, we hear it all the time, like when Roger Goodell or somebody would address something and you don't say it in the tone that you want it to be said in, you make a judgment call on them, right? And we're all guilty of this. You're like, or like, you need to apologize. Well, okay, if somebody comes out, and how many times do we see somebody do an apology? Well, that wasn't good enough because it wasn't said in the tone that I wanted it to be said in.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel sincere enough. And then you have to go, well, some people are just different. I mean, Maryland's not a good basketball team. They lost to Iowa earlier in the year, 83-64. That was way back on December 6th. This is a game Iowa should win. They have more talent. They've won 6 in a row. Ross, longest conference winning streak since when?
Oh, wow. When?
2015-16 season.
I almost said 16. I should have just said it. Huh.
That's a long time.
Long time. Yeah.
That's 10 years. 10 years.
Holy, it is.
They won 7 in a row that year, so they can tie that tonight.
You said 2016. For some reason in my head, I was like, wow, 6 years ago. Wow. I swear to God. Oh, that just made my back hurt. Didn't win that. Dusty's sharing exactly what was going through my head before why I didn't want to say it. Because I would have thought with Garza, the Hawkeyes had done it. And that's why I kind of paused and then I went, oh, it was.
It all depends. I mean, Iowa's had a pretty good stretch here. I mean, they got to go to Oregon, which is not a good team. It's not like they were playing Michigan State, Illinois.
Travis, not one ranked team in that 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Washington, I believe, was a quad 1 win, but not ranked. And but it matters. It
does. That all matters. I don't know, but I can't look at the schedule and go, oh yeah, quad. I'm not that fan. A lot of guys are. I'm not that. I don't.
They're geeks.
Yeah, I look at it and I go, what are those are good wins? Nobody good there. You won at Indiana. That means something in the history of time.
Indiana's playing better, but Indiana is probably a lot like Iowa. And I think actually Iowa's better. Indiana, if it's not hitting threes, Indiana's not a good basketball team. Indiana hits threes, they're a real good basketball team.
Yeah. Can we go back? I want to talk about Sturts, but also go back a little bit on the Iowa State game last night and the broadcast early on and Jefferson's play last night, because I have many times thought, man, if you're drafting a team out of these Iowa rosters right now, Jefferson's my number one dude. That guy he seems to me like the best NBA body and the best NBA talent that of the two rosters. And then you see the NBA mock drafts and Bennett Sturts is 13th and Jefferson, you see his name in there from time to time, but it's not like Bennett Sturts. And then last night, at the beginning of the game, they were talking about, I'm not sure if you heard that, Trav, in the broadcast, but basically talking about, man, this guy's an NBA body. This guy's showing up on some NBA draft boards. We've talked over and over about the thing about Bennett Sturts is consistency. With rare exception, the guy shows up and he actually lately has been outperforming what the expectation is for his team and for those scouts.
Let me add another word, but you say consistency. Let me add a different word to that.
Okay.
Versatility.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And what I mean by that,
very versatile player, but I get you're right.
What I mean is you got a point guard that's a pretty good size, can handle the basketball. He can hit the 3-pointer. He can hit the mid-range. He can dribble, penetrate. He can draw a contact, get to the line. And Jefferson does some of those things, just not all of those things. I think Bennett Sturts is versatile and consistent, and you go, boy, he's almost like the total package. And we might be, and I'm not going to say we're overselling him anymore. We keep saying that, and he keeps delivering. All Bennett Sturts says, oh, try me.
Yeah.
Just try me. I'm that competitive. So I use the word, I'll piggyback off your word consistent and add versatile to it. because he has the mid-range. He has the long jumper. He has the dribble penetration. He has the ball handling skills. And there's people in the NBA going, this guy's going to fit in pretty good.
Yeah.
We're going to take a chance on him at 12, 15, wherever that may be. He's going to be a first-round pick.
The NBA guys know talent, and sometimes you have to zoom out and go, okay, what do other people see? I'm not watching with a real critical eye. I've kind of fanboyed. I've kind of chosen that I like Jefferson, and so it's like with politics or anything else, you see what you want to see. So but last night was one as the game went on, because they were talking about that early on. And I was like, they're saying what I'm saying. Well, then the night doesn't play out the way you think it's going to play out, and as it's going on, I go, this is the part of the game where I realize how good Bennett Sturts is.
I'll disagree with. It's not, bro. I didn't want that one. It's this one. Jefferson is overrated. That's from Cyhawk 1178.9. I don't think he's overrated. Now, if you're looking at a, and I'm not going to get into the NBA stuff. The guy's not overrated in the college ranks. I mean, all year long we've been saying, Jesus, look at this guy. I mean, Iowa State only has 3 losses.
Trying to get to an extended mock draft to see if I can see, because the one I had yesterday just really went through the first round. I'm on CBSSports.com.
CBSSports.com.
They've got Bennett Sturts going 17 as I'm scrolling through here. They have Joshua Jefferson going 22.
NBA scouts do their homework.
Joshua Jefferson to the LA Lakers.
Wow.
No pressure there if LeBron retires.
No, not at all.
Good luck, Wally.
Hey, are you looking for a lunch or dinner spot that always hits? Head to Fong's Pizza, home of the original Crab Rangoon Pizza. Fong serves bold, Asian-inspired flavors alongside classic favorites that turn any meal into something memorable. Perfect for a quick downtown lunch, happy hour with coworkers, or dinner before a night out. Fong's delivers creative specialty pizzas, craveable appetizers like pot stickers and monthly specialty pizzas, and 25 beers on tap to keep the good times rolling. Grab a slice, share a pie with friends, or order ahead to pick up your order at their convenient pickup window. There's something for every appetite. Fong's Pizza, downtown Des Moines, fun, flavorful, and anything but ordinary. Brian Hardin, Athletics Director at Drake University, will be joining us next on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
More Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. you can see all your friends. The good times never end unless you're just loitering. It's Central City. We can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City. All this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
I'm Steve Olinger, Service Director here at Willis Nissan. February is here, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Love is in the air. It's time to give your car some love. Take advantage now until April 30th. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for $1. Go online today at willisnissan.com or give us a call to schedule your tire installation.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive and Willis Cadillac. Escalades are available right now, which rarely happens. They also have Escalade allocation open, so you can order your Escalade today. You know who I think drives an Escalade?
Escalade allocation.
Yeah, I mean,
someday, dude.
You know who drives an Escalade? I'm betting it's Brian Hardin. He's driving around the caddy.
I knew that was not the case.
Yeah. If I had an Escalade, my family would need to live out of it. I mean, I'm not the AD at one of these Power 4 schools here. No way, man.
Yeah.
That's and it's probably way too much car for me. That's like an urban assault vehicle. Like I'd be taking out folks left and right with that tank on the road. So
I tell you, my wife demands a large car. She's overcompensating for what I lack, so she demands a very large car.
Travis, I thought you were going to, I thought you had the layup of all jokes and transitions there when you were going to say, no, with all these job searches you're doing, you got to have a car that's much more versatile.
Yeah, you got to pick up coaches and these things.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
come to Drake. You're going to get an Escalade.
That's right. Yeah. No, well, I mean, I'll think about it. I'll have to give Jason Willis a call here and see if we can't try to work out something.
Yeah, nice.
That's
Good
good.
idea. All right, let's start with a big question because Travis and I have had this conversation. And that is, what is the job of an athletics director in the state of Iowa? And I guess the question I want to have for you is, man, in a weird way, I just want to say, has the job at Drake been the job you thought you were going to have? Have you been doing the work that you thought this would be?
It's interesting. I guess I haven't paused to think about it, Ross. I would say it has evolved. I mean, I would say there are certainly the key elements in terms of what I've always said of, like the 3 most important jobs I think an athletic director has is to hire, entertain the right head coaches, to build and maintain a proper culture, and then to fundraise. You want to generate the resources so that you can get out there and provide the tools that our coaches need in order to put themselves and their athletes in position to be successful. And that's in competition, that's in the classroom, that's in life. And so to a degree, like that part has remained the same. Now, maybe like the percentage of time that is spent focusing more on the resource development and allocation has shifted more in that direction over the past few years than maybe it was earlier on. I still think it comes to, we're still in a people business. And so it's still like who you surround yourself with really matters. I think you win with people first. And so you can't lose sight of that. But certainly, maybe like the amount of time that I spend on certain tasks has changed over the years.
You know, Brian, I've been in this business a long time. Few things surprise me anymore. I was surprised when the Joe Woodley announcement came out, and for a number of reasons. I guess my question to you is, I'm sure you didn't think you were going to be hiring a football coach a year after hiring Joe. How much heads up did you get, and did you beg to try to keep him?
So I didn't. I would not have been surprised if you had told me that we were going to get Joe for 1 year. We're going to win a conference championship in that week, because he is a really, really good coach, and he's going to be incredibly successul with whatever he wants to do. So it wouldn't have shocked me, just given his landscape, and there is some of the Ben McCollum effect that would happen with a guy like Joe, someone who may not have fully received the amount of credit he deserved from winning at a perceived lower level, just like McCollum did at Northwest Missouri State, and what Joe was able to do at Grandview. Then he comes up and he can show in 1 year's time that what he was doing before at Grandview translates to Drake, translates to Division I football, albeit now scholarship, but still relative to our peers, was very successful. And that would give somebody else at another school comfort to go grab him and have them lead their program. So that would not have surprised me. I was more surprised at where he's going. And again, and I've known Joe for 30 years, and I don't think any less of it. I am happy for him and for Jen and for the girls to go over there and do that. And I know that he'll make a great team with Travis Johansson, and they'll help Coach Shiano as best they can, try to get things going over at Rutgers. That was a piece that surprised me. And like the timing aspect of it. Yeah, I mean, it was that came out of nowhere to me. It called me Sunday afternoon. I was visiting my dad, and so I took a call and turned into a longer conversation than maybe I thought. And then we met for lunch at a spot down there in Ingersoll on Monday, trying to see kind of where he was at. And his decision was pretty much, decision was made at that point. And so then the conversation switched from me just trying to evaluate where he's at, and is there a path to try to keep him, and honestly speaking to him more as a friend than as an athletic director of, are you thought about this? Are you thought about that? To then it was pretty clear, like, hey, no, this is happening. Like, okay, now we got to switch and pivot to, all right, well, how do we tell your coaching staff? How do we tell our current roster? How do we tell our high school kids who have signed with us? And then how do we go ahead and how do I work with Jay Brummel on my staff here? And how do we go back to launch another search? So that's kind of how things really kind of played out less than 48 hours ago.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny that you and I probably had the same surprise. Rutgers, which is an upside down financially athletic department, and if it would have been a defensive coordinator, like I would have totally understood that, right? But it's going to work for your friend I always thought it would have been, hey, you're going to take a scholarship FCS job or a MAC job or something like that. That was the surprising. And Joe texted me. We tried to get him on this morning. He's not as willing to come on as you were, and I understand that. He's nothing to hide. But that was the surprising part for me. That just where he's going and the position that he's going to. But we all like to work for friends too, right? I mean, if you got a friend, somebody you trust, you kind of take that plunge.
It's an opportunity that he goes there. He's got a safety net around him in terms of, he's got a couple guys now, from Travis, who will be the DC defensive coordinator, and then Adam Cox, who was our defensive coordinator, who's going to go out there also as safeties coach. So he knows a few folks, a couple guys there already from the jump that will help with that transition. And it's one of those where there's some risk to it, but the possible reward is terrific. He can go there, and the success he can have, the exposure he'll have to being part of a Big Ten staff, getting exposed to what the NIL component is to that high level college sports, which he doesn't have on his resume to this point, can help him, get that next job. And maybe things go really well, and it leads to Travis getting a head coaching job, and Joe can go with him, or maybe Joe can elevate up to be DC, at Rutgers, and who knows what that could lead to. Or he can get out there and he can realize, like, gosh, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. I don't like the area, or I don't like not being able to call my own shots. He's going to be able to get another head coaching job because of his resume. And so, like, even if he's only there for a year or two, and it's like, it's not for him, like, he's going to land on his feet just fine.
So now the interesting part, the Drake football job is interesting because of the non-scholarship aspect of it. I know you're meeting at 7:30 today to maybe start that process. Maybe you've already started. You have a track record of hiring pretty darn good coaches. What are you looking for Could it come internally? Could you go down East 14th again, or is this a nationwide search?
Yeah, it's well, you're right. I'm meeting here in about 20 minutes with leadership of the football team. This is something that we do anytime a search opens, and so we've got a good group that's going to be over here shortly. And that's really great for me. We did this last year with the football team, and honestly, what came out of that was it was one of the best conversations that I had with any group of student athletes when they were wanted to outline what they were looking for. And I kind of went back and I reviewed some of those notes going into this, because we didn't do this too long ago, so not a whole lot has changed. But their comments at the time about how they wanted to be pushed, how they really wanted a winner, like winners win, was one of the comments that Luke Woodson made, who was a senior running back for us last year. He made that comment a year ago, and he just kind of felt like there's just something that winning coaches know what it takes. And certainly, I mean, as they were kind of describing what they were looking for, I mean, they really kind of outlined who Joe is as a person, as a coach. So I was able to take their thoughts, add it to what my observations were, and that really kind of helped inform some of the questions that were asked and the thought process that ultimately led to trying to get Joe to come over here last year. So we'll start there. Yeah, the conversations have already begun in terms of just who is interested. We have not launched into formal interviews just yet, just maybe some conversations with coaches or with people who are connected to them. And just I just start to line up some stuff. I would imagine that we'll get more into it here heading into the weekend and try to move on this pretty quickly.
Okay, that kind of answers the question there, because I was going to ask about a time frame. Do you feel a time stretch how does this fit into your off-season schedule?
I feel bad because I'm already behind Jamie Pollard's timeline. So I mean, I should have. I'm already like 44 hours behind Jamie. So I got to get moving here. No, it's one of those where, I mean, it's February 11th. I mean, the timing is less than ideal. I mean, we're a month from spring ball starting, and so there's just we're going to have to go at a pretty good pace. I think that the last time we did it with in December of 24, was it? It all kind of blurs together. It was a little bit longer, and some of that candidly was trying to wait Joe out. We needed to get through kind of where they were at in their playoff run, and we had to kind of get through that. This one, if we can go quick, we will. But as I've told, our initial team meeting and our assistant coaches who were asking about kind of what it meant for them, we're going to try to go fast, because I know that with each passing day, the level of anxiety grows with those young men around our program. But we're not going to go so fast that we end up losing out on the best person, because this did happen really quick. This caught a lot of folks by surprise. And so there probably are some candidates out there who didn't have Drake opening in February on their bingo card. And so they're now adjusting to the news that they're hearing, and maybe evaluating themselves. Is this a situation that they want to go into? So there could be some folks out there who are making calls around to their contacts about what Drake is like, what is non-scholarship football like, what am I like, to see if this is something they'd want to try to jump into and bring their family to.
Anytime a coach leaves, the big worry is retention, right? And you just had the high school signing period, which probably at your level is pretty more important than maybe the portal, just because you get some portal guys, but you get those high school guys. You want to keep the guys on the current team, because not only does it impact the football team, I'm sure your president's going, hey, we've got revenue here for the university of guys that are paying tuition. I mean, so do you personally reach out to the guys who just signed and talk to these guys? And what's the retention strategy?
Yep. So just speaking to like the guys who we just signed. So we had a class of 32, I think it is. And I emailed them on Monday. So news broke, so Joe and I have lunch. We talked to the assistant coaches at 1:30. We talked to the team that's here at 4:30. And that same afternoon, I had an email out to all of our signed kids, just making sure that they were aware of the news. In a lot of cases, introducing myself and then kind of summarizing what I had shared with the team at 4:30, but then setting up a Zoom call that we had last night. And so I jumped in. I wanted to get in front of them, and I wanted them to put a face and a voice with an email address and a name. And so had that last night, and those aren't long conversations. I mean, those are like 15 minutes, just where it's just you get in there, you want to hit on a few bullet points, make sure that they understand that they've got people here, resources here to help them. That there could be a lot of questions that maybe they're not prepared to ask or aren't comfortable asking in front of the group, and just let them know that here's my email address. Here's how you can find me, Jay Brummel, on our staff here. We had assistant coaches on the call, like they're still employed here, Drake. Like, reach out to them. You've got a great network here, so don't feel like you're on your own, because a lot of the reasons why you chose to be a Drake Bulldog still exist. We want you to be part of this, and because this has never been about one person, or one player. It's always been larger than that. And what we've built here over the past few years, now through a couple different coaching staffs, I think can continue. Like, we haven't fully reached the peak of what we're able to accomplish here with our Drake football program, and with the young men who are in our program right now, keeping them engaged, which is going to be a big part of the conversation I have here in about 15 minutes. It's going to be a big part of it, as well as this next crop. I mean, they all committed to it based on the vision of what they experienced when they came on their visit here, and that still can exist when they get here this summer.
32 players, room and board, tuition, $60,000. That's $1.9 million. I mean, that means a lot of money for the university. So I get it. So it's the retention is going to be huge. So, we had Todd Stepsis on yesterday, and he said, hey, the Drake job's a good job. It is a really, really good job. And he spoke highly of it. Of course, it provided him with an opportunity to move up. So I think when you get that validation from another coach that says, hey, I was there, I understood it, it's a good job.
I think so. I mean, I think it's, if you see it for what it is, and you come in here, and that's going to be the key to any conversation we have is, can this coach see our job for what it is and not what it isn't? And there are certain things that we just can't do. Like our PFL, it's not only is it non-scholarship, but we've got a conference policy that, we don't do NIL. We can't share revenues. Like the shared revenue component, that's not permissible in the Pioneer Football League. I mean, it's actually somewhat kind of refreshing, and what it is, it's like we're going back to like pure amateur athletics. Yeah. So for that standpoint,
Hendo loves that too, because all that money can go to men's basketball.
Yes, well, that's a whole nother topic. But it's all of our football players are here for all the right reasons, and that they know what they sign up, that they're going to be challenged academically, athletically, and socially, and that they're here. And it's a really unique group of men on our campus. It's important for us to have it, because Travis, you hit on the quantity piece, and so we need to have 105 plus guys on our roster. 105, you can add in the designated student athlete piece, but over the next few years we'll have to bring that down because we opted into the House settlement. But that's going to be like 25 to 35 guys that will be added to our roster on an annual basis, and that's really important to add that to our campus for the vibrancy of it. But we want to also make sure that we maintain the high quality that has been coming in here for the last several years. And so that's why getting this right is so important. Trying to move quickly, but not too fast is going to be critical to how this process plays out. But it's a great job that has really good support, has a great history and legacy. And so that's why I think that there's a lot of momentum here, and folks who want to come in and be part of a great athletic department in this wonderful community that we have. It really kind of separates it from a lot of the other jobs in our conference.
Before we let you go, I'm going to ask it. How about you? I mean, you've been doing this at Drake a while. I mean, everybody has the goal. Yeah, and doing a killer job. But how old of a guy are you, Brian? I'm curious.
I just had my birthday last Friday, and if I told you with the color of my hair now, you won't believe me, but I'm actually 46. I know I look 56 or 66, but I'm still in my mid 40s.
So I'm in my mid 50s. You and Ross are about the same age. You do reach a point, and I've been there, and I was probably there at your age. Go, okay, what's next for me? You like, do I have one more challenge? I mean, obviously you're happy at Drake, but do you go, God, what could I go lead if I had more resources, more money? Had is that in your cards, do you think? I know you're not going to answer it honestly, because
hey, been here for 8 years now, and really proud of what we've been able to accomplish. I think that new challenges continue to rise up all the time, and where Drake finds itself, in the athletics landscape within our conference, but also within college athletics, is different than a lot of other schools. And that there's going to be stuff on every athletic director in the country has crap on their desk, and they got to deal with stuff. And I'm no different than any of the other 3 Division I ADs in the state and anyone else outside. There's always going to be stuff that we got to deal with. We maybe have some unique challenges because of the size of our school and enrollment and where we're located in certain things, but I kind of embrace that as someone who grew up around here. I really like it. So yeah, I mean, there have been my phone has rang, times, here and there about different opportunities to go do something else, and whether it's to lead another department or to go be a number 2 person somewhere else at one of those bigger schools. And it just, I don't know. I'm very comfortable here. Someone once told me a long time ago, don't mess with happy. And so I try to be really mindful of that. I try to share that with other coaches who are kind of going through similar situations. I've got great support from my boss, President Martin, allows me to kind of run the department, not completely unchecked, but with the appropriate amount of oversight. Our board of trustees, we got our new board chair, Paul Schickler, is one of our best supporters to athletics and someone who I've got a great relationship with, and a number of our other board members have been very instrumental in allowing us to do what we've been able to do in athletics. My wife and kids love it here. My boys now, my oldest is a freshman in high school, and so we kind of get into that age where it's like, to move kids as they're teenagers can be tough, and do I really want to do that? So there's probably a window here where the young guys my twins are in 6th grade. So if we can, we'd love to be able to kind of see them through. And then my family's here, right? My parents are here.
Yeah.
They're not getting any younger. My dad's battling some stuff right now. And so, to be around to help out with that, to have my kids around their grandkids, there's a lot there. But so as long as I feel like we can remain committed to competing at a certain level at Drake, then I'm going to be certainly committed to continue to try to lead this program to new heights. Obviously, if things change, then around us that are outside of our control, then maybe that changes the thought process to some degree. But to this point, that hasn't necessarily been the case, and so that hasn't messed with my happy. And we'll continue to play this thing out and try to do things that maybe haven't been done here in a long time.
Well, you gave an honest answer. I wish I would have got that advice because I mess with Happy all the time. I play. It's in my head all the time. I play with Happy. So I know you got a meeting coming up. Just one final question: are we going to have a coach within a week?
We'll see. It's a week. I'm not going to possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. Yeah. There's. I would say it's. We talked to a number of folks, 14 months ago, and some of those folks are still interested, which makes me really happy. We've had some other folks kind of express interest, and so I want to get through kind of what our players have to say here today, and then, but yeah, I mean, it would be. My wife would say, get it done before Valentine's Day. I'm not sure if I can move that quickly here, but the sooner the better. As long as we get the right person is certainly what we're going to be going after.
All right, Brian.
There's some AD speak for you. I try to tap dance around that one for you.
No, that's fine. Well, I tell you what, when you get him hired, we'll try to get you back on so you can talk about why you did, and then hopefully we'll be able to get him on as well. So have a good meeting, and we'll catch up, and we'll be following up. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Yep. Brian Hardin, Athletics Director at Drake University, joining us about the football coaching search. We're going to take a quick break because Ross is going to get his audio back. But I do want to let you know that when you're looking for a house, you're going to need a loan for that house. And that's when you call Gary Presnall, a mortgage banker with Northwest Bank, financing residential homes for the past 25 years. Gary offers VA, FHA, IFA, and first-time buyer loans and conventional and new construction loans, and all approvals take place locally at Northwest Bank. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less. You can do that off hours and on the weekends too. Give him a call at 515-975-6767. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Okay. And you said it makes that noise every time you accelerate? Got it. Right. And does it happen only when it's cold out, or does it also happen after you've warmed up for a little bit? And how does that make you feel? Is your car feeling a little down this February? Come on down to Willis Volvo Cars and we'll get her feeling good. To schedule an appointment, give us a call or go online to willisvolvocars.com.
Hey, Tanner with Liberty Lawn and Landscape here. It may be chilly now, but before you know it, spring will be here. We are now booking for spring, so get a hold of us to schedule your next project today. Serving the Des Moines Metro, we specialize in a variety of services such as retaining walls, paver patios, edging and rocking, and much more. Now offering 3D renderings to show you exactly how your project will look before beginning. Liberty is proudly veteran-owned and ready to serve you today.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiscus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Your wife wants flowers. The Range Rover needs an oil change. Just like every relationship needs maintenance, so does your vehicle. Let Land Rover Des Moines help out with that with $25 off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Talked to Brian Duax from Central City Liquors yesterday. I had a question about buying a barrel of whiskey.
Buying a barrel of whiskey?
Well, because, you know, we give corporate gifts at MCL Construction, and you sit there and go, what do people really want? And we finally said, you know, maybe it's bourbon. You try to come up with cutesy stuff all the time, and you're like, well, I know just the guy. And so we're going through this process if we want to do that. So, but I just need to know, hey, what's the lead time on that, right? How much time do I need? Even though we just finished up Christmas, do I need to do it 8 months, 9 months, 6 months? What does that look like? So it is, I just need to ask Brian some questions, because when I have liquor questions, there's only one person to call. That's Brian Duax. Or you can go to the Todd Father, when you're at Central City Liquors, because if you're looking for the best selection of spirits, Central City Liquors in Des Moines has you covered with over 150 single malts, 50-plus bourbons, and hundreds of vodka varieties, whether it's beer, wine, specialty spirits, or that hard-to-find bottle you've been hunting for. They've got it. Great prices, friendly service, and deals you won't find anywhere else at Central City Liquors. Stop by today and start planning for your next drink. Want to thank Brian Hardin for coming on. I mean, he's just the most honest guy. Straightforward. And I was surprised, Ross, about the football doesn't share any of that revenue share, right? I mean, but that does make it. I like what he said. It makes it easier for him because you don't have to worry about.
Great perspective of like, man,
Yeah.
I see that stuff in the news. I don't have to deal with that in my office.
Yeah.
And the NIL stuff is we all see what a weird component that is to everything. And like, yeah, don't have to do that with the football, which is great. I love what was the job you thought you were going to take? If you go back and listen to that, it's really good. He says, I thought my priorities were going to be 1, 2, and 3. Right? Hire and maintain a good staff, have a successful athletic department, and raise money. That's been my job. It just hasn't been in that order.
Yeah. It's probably 3, 2, 1 because you got to have the culture.
3, 1, 2.
Or 3, 1, 2.
You got to make the money, then get the people, and then win the game. Because I love what he said there, because I totally agree with him. And I think every successful corporation, as you know, Travis, you've been through 100 of these courses on successful team building, and it's about the people. And
every company is about the people.
Our conversation with Troy Plummer at Grandview. Troy, you get sick of winning? No, man, because I got the people around me that I like doing this with.
Jamie Pollard up at Iowa State. Beth Getz now at Iowa. They're not all the same, but it does come down to the people and the people you have around you. I'm going through performance reviews with all my employees right now, and I'm like, I don't want to lose you guys. You guys are the best, and we can all improve, but if you have a good culture, that goes a long, long ways. So I asked Brian there towards the end, Ross, if we're going to have a coach in a week. He goes, my wife says I should have it done by Valentine's Day, but he kind of danced around that one. But I wouldn't be surprised a week from today there's a new Drake football coach, just because you need to give stability to players. And we talked about that retention, and it's real. That's real money for Drake. I mean, that's real money because you need the numbers to balance out the sheets. So so we'll be talking more Drake football in the week to come. You see where Indiana's going to build a statue of Bob Knight?
I didn't see that till you sent the rundown this morning. I'm indifferent on this. I'm not a huge Bobby Knight fan. Coach Knight, wherever you're supposed to call him, so you don't get punched in the face.
You don't call him Knight.
Don't call him Knight. Call him Coach Knight. Call him something so that he doesn't go ballistic on you. And I'm not a huge fan of him. I never was. He kind of always seemed like an asshole and a bully, and seemed like he was always on the edge of serious anger issues. But he was a good coach. He won basketball games and helped to define a real dynasty and Indiana's legacy as a 90s kid, 80s, 90s kid. Indiana meant basketball. Not necessarily NCAA dominance or Big Ten championships every year and things like that, but Indiana, that really did represent basketball. Maybe it was the Hoosiers movie that played into that, but Bobby Knight's a big cog in that wheel. So I don't blame putting a statue up by the guy.
Well, and here, this is where he's an enigma, right? Or was an enigma. He passed away in 2023. And then your perception of Knight is what you saw all the time on television and stuff like that. But for the most part, if you read books and listen to his former players and people, the overwhelming majority, absolutely love the guy. So you almost wonder, there were two, and I'm not saying he wasn't flawed. All humans are flawed, right?
Amen. Yes. And great coach. You can't argue that he was a great coach.
But even the athletic director who was his student manager said, hey, I learned a lot from him that not necessarily what you saw in the public was the man behind the scenes. And
which is usually the case, Trevor. We try to say this as often as we can to remind. We know about 2%.
Yes.
And with Bobby Knight, we maybe over time got to know about 4 or 5%. And I'm guilty of looking at the bad stuff only.
And
you're
fair.
right. You look at the hundreds of guys that he influenced that became really successful in their life and said, man, it was that guy. It was his influence in my life that helped me get to where I am. I can't deny that. Again, I'm not going to protest the fact that they're putting a statue up of a guy because I thought he was an asshole. It doesn't matter.
I think if anything, it brings the Indiana fan base together because there were a lot of people who didn't want Bob Knight to go, and they kind of have ignored him. I mean, he came back a couple times, but this will be like, hey, all is right with the world now with an Indiana fan base, and they're going to put it in the lobby at Assembly Hall. 515-517-2303. We haven't heard from this guy in a while. Let's go out to New Jersey. That's where John is. John,
nice.
Welcome to the Rush Radio Show. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I had the day off of work today, and I've been listening to the podcast every day in the truck. So it's a little taste to homes.
Congratulations on the day off, by the way, John. Hope you're enjoying it.
Well, I took the day off because my wife surprised me with Valentine's Day tickets. We're going to go see Iowa at Maryland down in D.C. 3 hours away tonight. So
very cool.
Looking forward to seeing Bennett Sturts kick some Terrapin ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, Ross, I had a little bit of a beef to pick with you because I heard Monday's podcast about the Super Bowl, and you were like, well, the halftime show was great. Everybody was having fun. I don't know if you've seen any of the lyrics of what he was saying in Spanish.
I didn't.
Terse.
Why would I have gone out of my way to try to be offended by something? That's my point, John. I didn't understand it. It was just people. Here's what I saw as a white guy in Des Moines, Iowa. I saw people dancing and having fun, and it was 13 minutes, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And I even said to the people in my room, man, it's going to be really interesting to see everybody have to defend their preconceived notion. If you hated the thing, you literally have to go Google the lyrics in order to hate the thing. If you loved the thing, you have to go out of your way to say, oh, I loved it. What was your favorite part? When the girls were dancing?
That was my favorite part, John.
Everybody had a preconceived. It's just like politics.
You like ass shaking.
Yeah, I do. I kind of like the everybody had their it's just like politics. Everybody had their preconceived notion. Everybody decided before he came out of the locker room what they were going to think when he went back into the locker room. Everybody.
Personally, I just think that the Super Bowl is one of America's pop culture icons, and I should be able to understand the lyrics of whatever you're singing. Now, that doesn't make me a racist. Just makes me a realist.
But it also you had to Google the lyrics to be offended by it, John. Yeah,
you can finish.
I get your point. I had something else that I wanted to say though. Samba TV, which does I guess more accurate Nielsen ratings. You'll notice, according to that chapter, and a lot of people, they're talking about social media feeds and views, saying like 135 million people that watched social media channels. But Nielsen is showing that there was a 12% dip in the ratings. But Samba TV goes even further, and they're based out of San Francisco. And they're saying that there was a 46% drop of U.S. households from the peak at the second quarter to when it dropped during the halftime show to when it came back up after halftime, and then people just tuned out. I'll be honest, I didn't watch the entire game just because I wasn't interested in seeing something called a Sam Darnold win a championship, because I thought it was going to be a boring game because the Seattle defense was so stifling throughout the season. I didn't think the Patriots were going to be able to muster that much of an offense. Glad that they did in the second half, but it played out how I thought. A disappointing halftime and a disappointing game. And according to the ratings, it looks like it played out. I just wanted to say that it wasn't a preconceived notion. When you have 45% of American households tune out of a Super Bowl, that should be a yo for the NFL.
John, I think it is a reflection of the silos that we all live in. I think it is a reflection of, hey, if you voted for this, we're going to give you this option. And if you don't go to that option, then you're the enemy. What do you do when you hate America?
Oh, yeah, because I think it's my opinion that the NFL did this kind of a thumb in the eye of Trump with the deportations because they wanted a Hispanic halftime show, which is a silent against whatever's happening in the culture. So, yeah, it's a silent civil war. It's just cold right now.
Oh man.
So,
all right, thanks, John.
I'm just being honest.
I always love your.
I
love your honesty. I hope you understand this, John. Even when I disagree with you, I appreciate you calling in, sharing your opinions. It's usually well thought out. Even when I disagree with it, you've got it. It's not like, hey, here's an opinion, and I'm just spouting shit. You usually say, here's why I'm thinking it. Even when I disagree with you, I respect the fact that you call in and do admire it. So and enjoy your day off and the Hawkeye game tonight, brother.
I will, and I want to say one last thing because I can say this because you guys aren't on KXNL. I'm still hot that Keith Murphy hasn't apologized for pimping those University of Washington IHME data models during COVID as if they were gospel truth, and then they fell on their ass and he went forward and said nothing about it and apologized. If I'm wrong with my stats, I'll come forward and apologize. But if you're in media and you pimp something like that and then you don't apologize, I'm like, at least Travis and Ross will come on and say, hey, you know what, I was off on that.
John, do you real quick, I will just end with this before I let you go. John, you do understand Keith Murphy is like one of the nicest
human beings on the
planet. He, like the guy. Anyway, thanks for your thanks for
that. All right, John. Have a good one. Hey, have fun on your way to Maryland tonight. Be safe for that 3-hour drive.
And go Hawks, brother. Go Hawks.
I was just looking at the call screener. You know what I like about this call screener? Is it tells me how many times John has called the show. That's his 15th call to the show.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Just weird things that I have.
Appreciate it, John.
You know what he's the victim of? Is too much windshield time. Oh. When you're a solo truck driver, you have way too much windshield time.
John's a smart guy. You can disagree with John all you want. John's a smart guy. He's well thought. He's well spoken. Oftentimes John calls in and says things that I go, no, I don't see it that way. And the Super Bowl halftime show to me, and Travis and I have talked about this off the air, it is a perfect example of how polarized we are as a country, where we don't even enjoy a concert together anymore, because if you do, it declares something about your political party. And if you declare something about your political party, then that means all sorts of other stuff. Like the message that I took away, again, as an English speaker watching the halftime show, it was like, hey, everybody, love overpowers hate. Let's have some fun. Here's people getting married. Here's some big booty Latinas dancing. And then I had friends that were like, oh my gosh, you have options. You could turn it over to the girl that placed 4th in American Idol in 2006 and Kid Rock sing Ba with the Ba. Come on.
Now, I'm a Kid Rock fan, so I like
understand
Kid Rock.
You are.
I watched both shows. I didn't have a problem with either one of them. I said that on Monday. I didn't have a problem with either one of them.
Gene, you are absolutely right. Self-righteous Ross. I wish I weren't this. I wish I weren't this way.
But you have that self-recognition.
I just, yeah, right. I just don't understand why people are angry all the time. And then John's saying like, well, we're in a civil war, just a silent civil war.
Heck,
I don't want
go
that.
Through the history of time, we've always been in that. If you read, I've been reading like on Washington and Jefferson. It was just as vicious back then.
Oh, yeah.
It just came off as more eloquent, if that makes sense.
Right.
So, thanks for the call, John.
Yeah,
have
good
fun
stuff,
at the Iowa game
always.
tonight.
Yeah, and have fun tonight, man. Go get them.
Did you hear about that Montana football player, Solomon Tuiapiopoupu? I said the last name wrong.
But I nailed it. No, I think I
nailed it wrong. I'm just going to call him Solomon. Just granted his 9th year of eligibility. 9th year of eligibility. I'm actually, Ross, you know how we say there are exemptions? I'm kind of divided on it. He started his college career in 2018 at USC. He missed all his undergraduate because of injuries. He did not play in a college game until a redshirt senior year at USC in 2022. In 2023, he missed another season because of an injury. So in that time, he only hit the field for one season. He played all 14 games in 2022. Didn't play again in 2023. Ended up at Montana, played 2024, 2025, and now he's been granted a 9th year of eligibility. I'm back and forth on this. Sometimes like, because then I go to the Drew Ott situation, right? I'm like, you couldn't give Drew Ott a 5th year, but you're going to give a guy who's been injured a 9th year. But then I go, okay, well, you didn't play any of that time. This is kind of an aging out of the. You know how you age out of the juvenile system? You've
Right.
kind of aged out here. 9 years.
I mean, Travis, so from 18, 19, 20, and 21, he's injured that entire time.
Yeah.
At USC. He gets to play the 22 season, plays all, he said 14 games in the 22 season. Man, I guess I got no problem with these. That Montana, right? This,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
but I would want to know more like.
I guess my question is why?
9 years.
Why do you want to do this to yourself?
9 times. Travis, he's a competitor.
I mean,
it's something, he loves football. I mean, look, dude, we have guys that pay money to play football in their 30s.
I mean, he has high school teammates now or friends that are like in their 3rd year of residency of medical school. I mean, they're like doctors, right? I mean, and maybe I'm taking a stronger stance because I'm processing this as we're thinking. Maybe I am taking a stronger stance against you've just aged out of the system. I appreciate that you're competitive, but there just reaches a point where it's like, sorry, man, you've aged out. Your window has.
So what should that be? 25?
I think 25 is a pretty good age to say you've aged out of the system.
And then your exemptions are only religious and military?
Yes.
Injury is.
That's part of the game.
Injury. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it all as well. And I also think, thank you to Todd for asking this question in a very snotty way. I'm hoping, Todd, how many degrees does this guy have?
He should have multiple by now.
Because he's got to be enrolled and passing. And there should maybe even be a credit hours type of restrict. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be something other than, hey, man, can you tackle guys? If you can tackle guys, we got a spot for you. That's semi-pro. That's playing for the Barnstormers. I don't know what the rules should be, but there's obviously got to be something. If it's 25,
Justin!
I'd be okay with that. Hi, Justin.
So if it's 25, I could play this year.
You
It's
got
my
it, buddy.
final
You still
year.
got, yeah,
Yeah.
I've got 4 years of eligibility.
You've got the body for it. You're built like a defensive end. You could be a rush end.
I still remember I was a freshman in high school, and Zelenovic was the weightlifting coach, the head coach of Southeast Polk football.
Yeah, Brad Zelenovic.
And he came up to me because, of course, I was tall, and he's like, "Hey, you should try out for the football team." And I went, "Coach, you realize I would get killed out there, right?" And he laughed, and I was like, "All right, you don't have to laugh at it. You're supposed to be like, no, we'll get you bulked up." Yeah, I think he was just looking for someone to take stats.
I've often looked at you and thought, man, Justin looks like Javon Curse. Justin, did you hear that your Seattle Seahawks may have had a tell against the Patriots offensive line? Did you hear this?
I heard about them figuring out Drake May. I didn't hear about the offensive line one.
So Devin Witherspoon shared during one of his post-game conversations that Coach McDonald had come up with basically a tell between the guards and tackles. He says we could tell what they like to do, how they like to play, and how they were going to attack us. We're talking about a coach who put us in the best position to win. That's our coach. He'll always have our back. We had a tell on their guards and their tackles, how they like to set. They go and overset on certain rushes. They're going fall for certain moves.
I love it. I love it. This
You mean they were
defense is
they were
different.
stealing signals? Is what you're
No.
saying? You're
No,
Nah,
Travis, you brought this because we talked about this yesterday before the show, or maybe it was on the show. Remember the Andre Agassi thing with Boris Becker? Was it Boris Becker?
yes, it was Boris Becker.
So Justin, Boris Becker was one of the most dominant tennis players of Travis and I's youth. He was amazing. And then all of a sudden, Andre Agassi
I was
came
an
along.
adult.
Then Andre Agassi came along and was beating him. And Boris Becker, like in a documentary, he says he used to go home and say to his wife, I feel like he knows where I'm going to hit the ball. Well, after they retired, Andre Agassi said, hey, by the way, I knew where you were going to hit the ball because you stick your tongue out in which direction you're going to serve. Swear to God. And they went back and watched the video, and sure enough, Boris Becker would, as he was lining up to serve, he would stick his tongue out on certain serves. And Andre Agassi picked up on that and knew where he was going to serve the ball. And that's kind of, that to me, at least what I'm reading here, is more like what McDonald did. Picked up on, there's those things of when a running back lines up 7 yards behind, it's blah, blah, blah.
No, I should send you guys a clip I saw of, it's Julian Love, the safety for Seattle. And it's a clip of him and he misses an interception. And you see him, he's like, damn it. And he goes to the sideline and coaches are like, you're going to get one. He's like, oh, I know I'm going to get one. He's like, watch him. He hitches and he goes, if he's going to throw it deep, he pauses, but he also takes a second because he's scared. And he's like, he wants to make sure the guy's open. He doesn't sling it like Stafford is what he says. And then he gets the huge interception late in the game.
Holy cow.
No, this team, what I like about this defense, the Legion of Boom, I mean, they hit you and then they like let you know that you just got hit by Cam Chancellor. They were loud about it. Did you guys notice how Seattle won that Super Bowl and they were just kind of like, yeah, they celebrated, but it felt like they weren't running, jumping up, crying. It was just like, yeah, we just kicked ass.
You're like, we
business-like.
know.
Yeah, it was
workman-like.
I think my dad and I were jumping up more than Sam Darnold was. Like it was cool to see a calm confidence.
Hey, I wanted to get this in because I told her I would. The Wright County Fair reached out to Ross.
Hold on. Audrey, come here. I want to get Audrey's reaction to this live on camera. Okay. Is that okay, Trav?
Yeah.
All right, hurry up, buddy. Come on, hurry up.
Andale.
So Trisha from the Wright County Fair heard us talking about Confederate Railroad. I gotta wait till Audrey gets in there.
All right.
So Trisha from the Wright County Fair reached out to us. Confederate Railroad's coming to the Wright County Fair, and she's giving Audrey and Ross and me, if I want them, grandstand passes and VIP parking to see Confederate Railroad at the Wright County Fair.
Yeah, how about that?
In Eagle Grove.
You excited about that? I figured you would be. All right.
I looked at a map this morning, and Eagle Grove is a long effing way away.
That's awesome. I knew she'd be super excited about that, man. That's a cool email, and thank you so much to the folks up at the Wright County Fair. I'm going to be. Yeah, we'll have some fun.
We were looking at Wright County today, going, man. Then Ross starts going to the lakes. He goes, well, I can fish here. I can fish here. I can go fishing here.
I did. Right away. I'm like, oh, what are these lakes? What are those lakes? There's water.
Did you say, hey, Audrey, I'm going to introduce you to camping while we're up there. We're gonna go get a tent. No.
Picked up her friend the other day up in Ankeny. We're driving past, and there were some guys ice fishing. I'm like, hey, look, those guys are ice fishing. And her friend's like, oh, I'd love to go ice fishing. And I said, Macy, you want to go ice fishing? And Audrey goes, I'd like to go ice fishing. No, you wouldn't.
That's the worst form of fishing.
No, you wouldn't. You hate the cold. You don't even like fishing when it's 85 and beautiful. I want to go ice fishing, stand out. No, you don't.
Did we screw up at all today, Justin?
No, the only thing is I had the same thought. of like, man, I feel bad for Brian Hardin. Like, I think every Bulldog fan's like, I know this sucks. Please stay. We don't have to keep asking him though. As a Bulldog fan, let's just keep him. Let's just we don't have to put it out there into the world.
I think that what I took away from that conversation is, we always talk about how being a coach at Drake is a very unique position. Mm-hmm. Trying to recruit at Drake is a different job than recruiting at most of the other universities in Iowa. Being the athletic director there fits into that same category. It's just a different set of skills and responsibilities and priorities.
It's insane how well he's been able to handle all of it. I mean, great coach after great coach. It's incredible.
Everybody, since you're the Drake insider, everybody wants to know who are the candidates, man. Who are you hearing on the leaderboard?
Grandview is a great option. EJ Peterson. I mean, he just went 14-0, won a title.
Yeah, but those are with Joe's players. I'm joking. I'm joking.
And then what about Strohmeyer from Iowa Western? I know he's been there for 17 years.
Hey,
it's worth a call.
No, it's not, because I will tell you that, and no disrespect, Drake can't even come close to matching the facilities and resources that Iowa Western has. Can't even come close. Wow. No, cannot even come close.
I was actually going to text you last night because on my show I talked about Strohmeyer as why I'd like him.
No,
and I was going to text you of like, you know this stuff better than I do. Am I on the right track here?
No, you're on the wrong track. Now watch, he'll take it. But from a resources, from a facility standpoint, it's not even close, man. Iowa Western has an indoor facility that's better than most Division I football teams. I mean,
really, I didn't know any of this.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Look online, Justin, and look at the stuff that they have online of the tours of their facilities.
I bet his football budget is twice what Drake's is.
Wow.
It kind of makes sense when you win 4 national titles. You're either winning them or runner up in the last 5 years.
Hey, Justin, can you jump on at 7:00 tomorrow?
You leaving tomorrow?
Well, I got called into a work thing.
No problem.
They look at me like, can you make it? I'm like, well, if I say no, then I look like I'm not committed. I think right now, Owen's going to come in and run the ship so you don't have to do all the other stuff.
Because I'll lose my audio around 7:25.
Yeah, something around there. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Missed any part of the show, go check it out on the podcast. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
New year, new lease on life, or on a new Nissan Kicks. Right now, we have a $299 per month lease on our 2026 Kicks SV. Also, take advantage of 0% financing on our 2026 Rogues and Muranos and our remaining 2025 Pathfinders. And we are thrilled to have the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra on our lot. This sporty compact sedan is ready to carry you through the new year in style. For more information, stop into our showroom or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
The following advertisement is for people who like to save money.
Do you or a loved one suffer from chronic overspending, getting less but paying more? Then you may have a case of big HVAC. Now is the time to try Priority One. We set our own prices, which means you pay for what you need, not for anything else. And if you need a heating service or new furnace, now is the time to try Priority One.
Side effects of Priority One include increased happiness, extra peace of mind, and bonus cash for whatever you want. Please use responsibly.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.